Oh, hello there. You find me here outside a randy leprechaun pub. No, obviously not. This is background. This is the Zoom of video conferencing software. I can't travel anywhere. Usually, as public enemy, I travel around to different countries visiting Irish pubs and then use that as a cover to make hard-hitting political satire and socio-political commentary and with a lot of puns thrown in. Obviously, we can't do that now, so what can we do instead? Well, I suggested that I will buy some alcohol and then drink it, and you could watch me do that. But someone said there's no market for that, so I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and tell the tale. I'm going to tell the tale of this Guinness Foreign Extra. Okay, this beautiful drink, widely available, but an interesting story behind this drink. Okay, so if we think about the number one consumers of Guinness in the world, number one, of course, the UK. Well done, it's the Brits. Fair play to you. Yeah, I love black stuff, love Ireland. Yeah, my name's from Donegal. So it's number one. Number three is Ireland, of course, small country, big consumption. Four is the US. Five, can't say yet. Six is Malaysia, interestingly enough. And there's an interesting story about Guinness in Malaysia for another day. Okay, but which country is the number two consumer? Let's see. Via the medium of music.
Order! One more time, everybody.
That was Spela Kuti, the sound of Lagos. So the number two consumer of Guinness in the world is Nigeria. West Africa, but especially Nigeria. And the reason why Nigeria became the number two consumer, the exact same reason that England became the number one consumer, and that was massive marketing, huge budget ads. So the reason why Guinness Foreign Extra became, it was doing really badly in late 90s, early 2000s. It wasn't selling at all. Obviously, there was some Guinness there because it's an ex-British colony, so wherever you get the Brits, you get some stouts. But it wasn't really selling at all. So Saatchi and Saatchi, those marketing bastards, came in and they had a massive campaign in which to sell Guinness Foreign Extra. And they did it behind one man. That man's name was Michael Power. Now you might be thinking Michael Power is not a particularly indigenous Nigerian name. He sounds like a used car salesman from Limerick, but they purposefully made him have a generic sounding name so he could fit into any country, Caribbean or West Africa. Marketing, isn't it? And Michael Power became something of a cult kind of legend in marketing and advertising in Guinness and in West Africa. And the reason why, and you'll see, is because they pumped a lot of money into these ads. Michael Power was like a African James Bond. The ads are like films. They're kind of like Bad Boys in the same kind of budgets. Big budget, kind of blockbusters. He's saving the day. He's like an all-round good egg, saves his friends, saves the girl. Then at the end of the day, buys everyone a pint. What's not to like about him? So he became massively popular. Let's have a quick look at one of the Michael Power ads. So there's quite a few of them. There's a Michael Power animation. This ad is called Race Against Time. And you can see it's really big budget. Like a film. That's Michael Power. That's
Watch
it.
me. Look at me.
And he became like almost like a people thought he was real. People wanted to do interviews with him. They created a whole character. There he is. Hey. Of course, Guinness advertising in the background. This was Race Against Time, so set against the race.
There's only about 8 men in front of him.
It's like a whole plot in 3 minutes.
Now show the world what you're.
And then at the very end, that's right, at the very end,
To you,
he gives
John,
everyone a pint.
I did what I could, but it was you who showed me the strength of a man who never gives up.
So that's the Michael Power ads, hugely popular. They even had a Michael Power film as well. critical engagement, or for the French market, engagement critique. So he became like a cult kind of figure, a legend. The ads after that, they became less kind of showy, and they became more like day-to-day African kind of life. But Michael Power, he increased Guinness's share from 10% of the market to 90-something%. So it really, really worked. And one reason for the success of it is, of course, all the actors were African, all the crew were African, and it was big budgets. So Sasha actually hit a winner with the Michael Power campaign. They tried to do something similar in Southeast Asia, which their version of it, they had this guy called Adam King, who sounds like a roofer from Kildare. But Adam King wasn't as successful because he was a bit of a shit. He was just kind of obsessed with money and stuff like that. So he didn't work at all, not to the same degree as Michael Power. He's a cult figure. If you ask people about Michael Power, they all kind of know about him. So onto the drink itself. A Guinness Foreign Extra, the first thing you notice is that it's stronger. It is 7%. The reason why it's stronger is because to make it last the journey from Dublin to Lagos, you had to increase the alcohol, because as we know, increasing alcohol makes things last for longer, except for people where it does the opposite. So it's quite strong. Oh, it's very bitter. Oh, it's very bitter. So it's got a shore gum in it. No idea what shore gum is. It's got shore gum in it, which is different from the original Guinness. So it's a shore gum taste, the flavour of shore gum. And now it's imported. So originally it was sent out to West Africa, where then they opened a brewery. Now they send it over to the UK, where it's really popular around East London as well. That's the story of globalization. So that's the story of Guinness Foreign Extra and Michael Power, and how they nailed the market with their advertising. For the next one, what we'll do is maybe have a look at Malaysian ones, because Malaysia has quite an interesting, they have a different tact with their ads, and it still worked to a certain degree. So join me here. It's all kicking off here at the Randy Leprechaun. Join me. And we will take a look at Guinness Malaysia and how they did it. In the meantime, please buy a t-shirt. I need cash and sweet money to keep me in Guinness. That's it, Sloan. Thank you.